That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better place. Get my people out the hood, we'll see better days. Tell a fan sorry, y'all let them wait. Shit up there like a Saturday. Listen to me how I beat the speed up like a battle.
Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk, back out with another video. And in today's video, guys, I kind of wanted to go over a couple stuff that went on with the Chicago Bears press conference. And we're also going to be talking about the top head coaching candidates for this upcoming 2025 season. 2024 season is definitely about to wrap up. And I just wanted to go over some of the top coaching candidates for for next year. And you can even also talk about Thomas Brown as well, the interim head coach, and seeing what he can do in order to, make him a strong candidate, to keep this Chicago Bears head coaching job. But before we start this video, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you can get the latest and greatest in regards to Chicago Bears news. And not only Chicago Bears news, just Chicago sports in general. But let's dive into this video. So, guys, the Chicago Bears just recently had their press conference. I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, they had their press conference yesterday. And it was, a couple days after, Matt Eberflus got fired. And Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, they had their press conference interview. And I think it was very interesting just watching the whole interaction between the two. Just seeing Ryan Poles just sitting right next to Kevin Warren, and Kevin Warren, he was just pretty much just doing like most of the talking about how him and Ryan Poles, they're going to work collaboratively on finding a good head coach for this upcoming season. And I think that the thing that they emphasized in this press conference was the development of Caleb Williams. And I think that's very important because in other Bears press conferences, we had Ryan Pace, we had Matt Nagy, and they always talked about the continuity, doing what they need to do for the team. Like they kind of talked around in circles, But, with Kevin Warren, he was just emphasizing that the development of Caleb Williams. And I think that's very important because from past Bears head coaches, we haven't really seen that with Matt Nagy and how he improperly developed Justin Fields, neglecting him and neglecting, Mitchell Trubisky at all. Like sometimes like Matt Nagy would sometimes get in his own way of play calling and not play to his quarterback strengths. And Kevin Warren emphasized that the next head coach has to cater to Caleb Williams' strengths. He said that they have to placate to Caleb Williams' playing abilities. We already know the type of player Caleb Williams is. His improvisational throws, his his kind of like his off the pocket, improvisational throws. Sometimes when he gets out the pocket, that's when he's usually his most lethal. He's very accurate on the run. And he's very athletic. When push comes to shove, when it counts, in the fourth quarter or when it's crunch time, Caleb Williams tends to turn it up. And he's done that time and time again. And this next head coach, he has to do whatever he can to allow Caleb Williams to kind of play in structure, but at the same time, he has to allow Caleb Williams to play as himself, play how he has played at USC, not taking away from his strengths, but at the same time, making him a better quarterback, keeping up with the NFL speed. And they also emphasize how they have to find a leader of men. Now, this could be this can mean a few different things, in terms of leader of men. We know that a couple years ago, Matt Eberflus was a candidate, and they were looking for a leader of men, and they said that he exhibited it. But push comes to shove, we found out that Matt Eberflus is not that way, But I think what they mean by leader of men, they want to find a head coach that can be accountable, a head coach that's no nonsense, that's not afraid to get in players' faces, whenever they make a mistake, that cares about the little details. That's the thing that a lot of Bears head coaches have not done since Lovie Smith. The little details like that matters, being in proper formation, when you're like, let's say if you're on the offensive side, making sure that your arm, you're having the proper technique. Your arm is not in front of the line of scrimmage, not in front of the line of scrimmage. You're not jumping off. You're not jumping offsides. You're not jumping for false starts. Setting up certain motion sets, making sure the little details that matter when it comes to coaching. And that's not what that. And granted, Matt Eberflus, he's a great defensive coordinator, but the thing about it is that he wasn't aware of the little details. He always preached the hits philosophy, but he never embodied it. Like, he never fully displayed it. And a lot of the players, they never really bought into it. They first year they kind of did. First, I'd say like the first 2 years, they kind of bought into it, even though it was kind of stripped down. But I'd say like when we got to 2023 and 2024, then it just went downhill. The players were not really buying in, and and of course his time management was not good. His situational awareness was not good, and that's what got him canned. That's what got him fired. And I think what they're trying to do is that they're trying to look for a head coach that cares about the little things, the little details, the events leading up to actually scoring that touchdown. And that's what also Thomas Brown talked about. During that Detroit Lions game, he kind of emphasized that it wasn't just Matt Eberflus's fault. It was everybody, and that's the thing that he kind of also talked about. When you take this type of job, when you win games, people praise you. And when you lose games, people, they criticize you. That just comes with the job. That's why they get paid a lot, because people are going to criticize you when you lose, and rightfully so. And people are going to praise you when you win. That's part of the job. When you win, you get praised. When you lose, you get, criticized, and that comes with being a head coach. And it felt refreshing to hear Thomas Brown say that, that he was responsible, that he took responsibility for his actions, and how he talked about, the plays leading up to that event, how they were down 16-0. Like, what are some plays that he should have done in order to, leading up to that event that shouldn't have led up to that event, that shouldn't have led up to them being down 23-20. What could they have done? They probably could have run a certain play, where they could have got like a certain number of yardage where they could have been able to score, in the first half, or, maybe they could have figured out how to counteract, Detroit Lions defensive schemes, in order to score, certain stuff that kind of led up to that event, that shouldn't have led up to that event. And he took responsibility, and that's what Matt Eberflus hasn't done. With Matt Eberflus's press conference, he would always try to double down or try to, kind of defend some of his actions, even when we lost like certain games. He always defended, like per se, like that Green Bay game. He always would say, "Oh, I like where we're at. You know, you never know what could have happened. We could have fumbled the ball, even though Cairo Santos, when it comes to his field goals, plays that are 39 and below, he's 100%. Like he's 70 for 7 when it comes to field goals that are 39 yards or below. But he decided to allow Cairo Santos to kick from 48 yards, where he probably could have ran maybe one or two more plays, you know, or put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands, you know, because at that point, Caleb Williams was already heating up. He was already heating up at that point. So he probably could have put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands, probably thrown the ball, get a couple more yards, get 5-10 more yards. That's within the field of range that's comfortable for Cairo Santos. But no, he didn't do that. He always would say, oh, I like where we're at, or like that Washington Commanders game when his defense were playing prevent defense, and he gave up 13 yards to the Washington Commanders that set up that Hail Mary pass in which we lost. He always would defend that, and he would never say, okay, you know, it's our fault. We should have done better. You know, we shouldn't have gave up that play. I should have called a timeout. I shouldn't have allowed Tyreek Stevenson to I shouldn't have allowed Tyreek Stevenson to just taunt the fans. We could have called a timeout, get in formation, but no, he didn't do that. You know, and that's something, you know, that Thomas Brown emphasized, that, you know, it wasn't just Matt Eberflus, it was all of them. You know, and that's what head coaches are supposed to do. That's what even if it's not your fault, you as a head coach or a coach just in general, you have to take responsibility, because at the end of the day, you are the CEO, you are the captain of this team, and you know the burden falls on you. And that's something that I really liked about that. You know, a couple of things that he did say. He said the word team. I believe in doing this together. We get rewarded together. We get criticized together. And so we have an internal process we go through on a weekly basis to prepare ourselves for those opportunities. And on game day, we'll execute. And also, Brown, he also announced that he will be calling plays during games. Now that he is responsible for the entire team, he needs help. He needs help with the offense. And he also announced Chris Beatty as the new offensive coordinator. He will help with the game plan and the day-to-day operations. Eric Washington will also be the defensive coordinator. And also Richard Hightower, he will still do his duties as a special team coordinator as well. And also, speaking of Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, like I said, Kevin Warren, you know, like I said, Kevin Warren talked about how him and Ryan, like I said, are going to do their best. They're going to cast a wide net for this Chicago Bears head coaching candidacy. And Kevin Warren also emphasized that this is going to be the most coveted position in the NFL. I mean, that's what he said. But you know, I also wanted to talk about some possible head coaching candidates as well for the Chicago Bears. Possible head coaching candidates for the Chicago Bears head coach. You know, there's Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, and also Marcus Freeman, who is the head coach. He's also been linked to the Chicago Bears head coaching candidacy. You know, of course, you know, like I said, Ben Johnson, he's the all right. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hold on. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, I'm back. All right. So Like top head coaching candidates include Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn has been linked to the Chicago Bears, Mike Vrabel, Cliff Kingsbury, of course, Thomas Brown, who's the interim head coach, Marcus Freeman, Brian Flores, Bill Belichick, Joe Brady, Bobby Slowick, Frank Smith, Liam Cohen, and yeah, those are some of the possible head coaching candidates for this 2025 season. And I know a lot of people are talking about Ben Johnson because, yeah, he's the hottest name for the Chicago Bears, and him being the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He's definitely helped that team elevate to one of the best, if not the best teams in the NFL. I think my only concern with Ben Johnson is that we don't know how his personality is as a head coach, as a person, because like you said, you want to find somebody who's a leader of men who can command the room. And we haven't seen that type of personality from Ben Johnson. I don't think I've seen enough press conferences from Ben Johnson, but we have seen him being around Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has the personality, but maybe it might rub off on him, maybe not. But sometimes when you have offensive coordinators who might be a genius, they might not be that type of person that's kind of raw, or somebody who's in your face. But I mean, you never know. I mean, I don't know. And then, of course, other candidates, of course, is Cliff Kingsbury. I've heard Cliff Kingsbury. Of course, he's had that type of fiery personality, and he probably could be a strong candidate for this job. I know he was last year. He was a possible candidate for the offensive coordinator position, but somehow Matt Eberflus was too freaking afraid and too coward to not hire him because he was scared that Cliff Kingsbury was going to take his job. But now that Matt Eberflus is gone, he probably might have a chance to, reunite with Caleb Williams, because he has worked with Caleb Williams last year during his final season with USC. Caleb Williams has played some of his best football when Cliff Kingsbury was coaching him at USC. And of course, you already see what he's doing with the Washington Commanders. Commanders has one of the top offenses in the NFL, and Jaden Daniels is playing like a top 5. Even though he kind of slowed down in his production, he's still playing like as a top 10 QB in the NFL. And I think with Cliff Kingsbury, pairing Cliff Kingsbury with Caleb Williams, it definitely could help Caleb Williams take his game to the next level. Other candidates, of course, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, and Brian Flores. I'm not too sold on Brian Flores because we already know what he has done, with Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa is saying that all the stuff that Tua Tagovailoa said about him, I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is true, I don't know if I want that type of personality and, in the locker room, but that's neither here nor there. But, guys, I don't want to take too much of this time, but yeah, those are the possible candidates for this upcoming 2025 season. I also wanted to go over the Week 14 pick'ems. I'm not going to make this video too long because I have other stuff I got to do. We're going to go over the Week 14 pick'ems. So I don't know if you guys could see it, but going over Week 14 pick'ems. Yeah. So Thursday, we got the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. And Detroit is favored by 3. And they're going to play in Ford Field. Green Bay, so far, they're coming off of a win against the Miami Dolphins last week. In Detroit, they're coming off of a close victory against the Chicago Bears. Of course, this is going to be in Ford Field, and it's going to be a rock. It's going to, this stadium is going to be rocking. For this game, I think this game is going to be close. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a really, really good game between the two division rivals. Green Bay, they're playing really well, and they're playing for to get the top seed in the NFC. In Detroit, they're looking to stay, number one in the NFC. But I think with this game, I think this is definitely going to be a dogfight. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. It can go either way. This could be a 50-50 game. I think both of these teams are really good, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Detroit because they are playing at home. And when they play at home, they are very, very, very tough. When you play the Detroit Lions at home, they play very tough. They play very gritty. They just got weapons on weapons. They got Sam Laporta. Green Bay, they also got some weapons too. I'm not going to sleep on their weapons. Christian Watson. They got depth. They got better depth than Detroit. But I just think, with Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell with this team, I think they're going to, have them ready for, this divisional game. And they're going to realize they're going to get them ready like, hey, man, we can't let this team gain ground, I think Dan Campbell is going to kind of emphasize that, like, hey, man, they're on our necks, man. We got to put our foot on their necks, man. We can't let them gain ground. And so I think that's definitely going to resonate with a lot of the players. I think this will be a close game. Both teams are going to score. I think this is going to be like a 34-31 type of game in favor of Detroit. So give me Detroit for the win. Next game, another boring game. Tennessee Titans going to face Jacksonville Jaguars. Battle of the two trash teams. I wouldn't bet this game with the 10-foot pole because this is going to be another boring game. Of course, Jacksonville, they're coming off of Jacksonville's coming off of a terrible loss against the Houston Texans. And Tennessee, they're coming off of a blowout loss to the Washington Commanders. I don't know. I'm just going to say the Tennessee Titans are going to win due to the fact that they just lost, what's his name, their quarterback. This is going to be another close game, like a 23-20 type of game in favor of Tennessee because, like I said, they just lost, Trevor Lawrence to a concussion. Aziz Al-Shaair, got suspended for headbutting Trevor Lawrence, and that's not good. It's not really good. I think he got suspended for like 3 games, but I don't think Mac Jones is going to really do anything. I mean, pick your litter. It's 50-50. I'd say just give me Tennessee for the win to win this game because Jacksonville, they're just such in disarray, and I think they're just going to keep losing. They're just going to keep losing. Next game, we got Miami versus New York. Miami's favored by 6 points in New York. The New York Jets, I don't know what's going on with the New York Jets, but last week they're coming off of a loss against the Seahawks. They almost beat the Seahawks. They could have beat them, but not enough. There's not enough juice, for this team, and it just seems like like I said, the New York Jets are just in free fall right now at this point. They only won like 1 game, if I'm not mistaken, ever since they've hired like Robert Saleh. They only won like 1 game, and Aaron Rodgers is just washed, bro. That crazy, that interception that he threw, to the Seahawks for that pick 6, man, it was so bad, bro. And this is like the beginning of the end for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is cooked, bro. I definitely would give the cover to Miami because I do not trust the New York Jets. The New York Jets in such disarray. The organization is such disarray. I thought we were bad, but damn. The New York Jets are in a worse situation right now with the aging quarterback and Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully they might get the top pick. They might, get a quarterback this upcoming draft, but don't choose for me to pick this New York Jets team. I have the Miami winning by 10 points, so give me Miami to cover. Okay, next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are hosting the Atlanta Falcons. They're coming off of a comeback win against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, man, they had them on the ropes. The Cardinals, I watched that game. Oh my gosh, I thought the Cardinals were going to win that game, but they totally choked. They completely choked that game against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, this team is definitely battle tested. They're playing very well. You know, they're firing on all cylinders, man. They're gonna. I mean, when they get into the playoffs, they're gonna give some team fits, man. They're gonna definitely give some team fits. I mean, don't sleep on the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold has been playing so well, bro. He's been playing very, very well. He's been playing like a top 10 NFL quarterback. The way he orchestrated that last drive, especially that throw he made to Aaron Jones. I mean, that was crazy, man. The way he brought this team back is crazy. And Kevin O'Connell, he's doing a great job just coaching this team. You got some dogs, you know, with Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, their some of their cornerbacks as well as Harrison Smith. You got every one of those guys firing on all cylinders. Atlanta, they're coming off of a blowout loss too. And so with this game, I mean, give me the Minnesota Vikings to cover the over. I think this is going to be an over. I think Atlanta Falcons, they're kind of like on a free fall. They've just been in a slump, bro. I don't know what's going on with the team, but I think ever since they come off that bye week, they haven't been playing very, very well. And Atlanta, they better get their stuff together because Tampa Bay, they're closing in on you, and you don't want to lose. You don't want to have a free fall in the next 5 games, man. But and this is his you know his homecoming. You know what's his name? Kirk Cousins is going to face his former team. This is his former team, so he's got to show up and show out. I actually think this is going to be a close game. I actually think this is definitely going to be a close game because Kirk Cousins, he definitely has to show out. And that performance that he put on last week, throwing like 4 interceptions last week, what team did they face? That when he threw 4 interceptions to the Chargers, it was a bad performance by the Atlanta Falcons. I think Kirk Cousins, he's definitely going to show up and show out, especially with his former team. I think this is also going to be a close game. I think this is going to be like a 28-24 type of game. I don't think it's going to be the over, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But this is going to be in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. So give me the Minnesota Vikings to win that game. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. This is going to be in This is going to be in New York. The New Orleans Saints, they are coming off of a loss against the Los Angeles Rams, and the New York Giants. The New York Giants, they're coming off of I believe they were on a bye week, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry. They're coming off of a loss against the Cowboys. They faced the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And with this game, I'm not going to have the Giants win this game, of course. The New Orleans Saints, even though they're not playing well, they still got some good weapons. They got, what's his name, back. They got Derek Carr back. Derek Carr is playing. He's come back. He's even though he's not playing as himself, I mean, you still got him back. And the New York Giants, they don't really have nobody right now. Ever since they got rid of Daniel Jones, that team, they just haven't gone anywhere. Like, this team has just been bad. You know, this is another game I would not want to, bet again with the 10-foot pole. So, yeah, just give me the New Orleans Saints to cover the 5, man. I have them winning by like maybe 5 or 6. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are coming off of a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they're coming off of a win against the Baltimore Ravens. That was a really great game. I watched that game. Very great game. I think with this game, I'm going to have the Philadelphia Eagles cover. I wouldn't have them winning by 12, probably by 10. Because man, Saquon Barkley, he's having a tear. Saquon Barkley, he's been playing very well. He's on track to break Eric Dickerson's record, and I think he has a good chance to do that in the next 5 games. If you have Saquon Barkley on your fantasy, please use him for the Carolina Panthers, because he's definitely going to be running all over the Carolina Panthers defensive line. The Carolina Panthers defensive line has not been the same since Brian Burns left. Even though they have been playing solid, I don't think they're going to do enough to stop this Philadelphia's offensive front, especially with their offensive line. Their offensive line is just too strong. And of course, when you mix Jalen Hurts with Saquon Barkley, those two with QB and running back combo, I mean, it's a recipe for what's the word I'm trying to say? Not success for any opposing defensive coordinators opposition. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game by 10 plus points. I do think the Carolina Panthers are going to keep it close maybe in the first half, but the second half, Philadelphia Eagles are going to make some adjustments in order to win that game. So give me the Eagles to win. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is favored by 6.5 points. I think Pittsburgh, they definitely want to get their revenge from a couple weeks ago, how they lost to the Cleveland Browns. I do think I'm going to have the Pittsburgh win this game by 5 or 6. I do think this is going to be a close game, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely going to cover. Like I said, Russell Wilson has been playing very well. The Cleveland Browns, with Jameis Winston, they've been scoring a lot, a lot on offense, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, that they haven't been winning games. I don't know if it's due to the fact, with Deshaun Watson being out or whatever, but this Cleveland Browns team, they're kind of wishy-washy. One game they play really well and they win a game, and then the next they just completely falter. And I think this game they're going to completely falter. I do think they're going to keep it close as well. I think this is going to be another close game due to the fact it is a divisional game, and these two teams know each other. But I think I'm going to give the edge to the Pittsburgh Steelers for this game. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they want to keep their top spot, in the AFC North. So I think they're going to have a lot to play for, and I think they're going to be playing hard. And I think that last game that they lost, some very, kind of stung them. So give me Pittsburgh to win that game. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders, they're coming off of what should have been a win against the Kansas City Chiefs if it wasn't for their center not improperly snapping the ball. I don't know what happened with that, but they should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Some people are calling them like the worst 11-1 team. I don't think they're the worst 11-1 team. They're the champs for a reason. They find ways to win, especially if you have a head coach with Andy Reid and a quarterback, with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, y'all could say whatever you want to say. I mean, to me, they're still the best team. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders, at the same time, they're kind of a wishy-washy team as well. Especially like when it comes to the good competition, they play very, very well. They play very hard. When it comes to good competition, especially if it's like a high-powered offense, they play very well when it comes to certain teams. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, they're one of the high-powered offenses. And, Liam Cohen has done a great job, with this team. And they're coming off of a overtime win against the Carolina Panthers, even though the Carolina Panthers, they had that controversial call, which was turned over on downs. And, but like I said, Las Vegas Raiders, they're also they're a very wishy-washy team. And I think that loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, I think that's really going to demoralize him. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they're definitely going to capitalize on that. So I'd say give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. I do have them covering over the 6. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks. Arizona Cardinals, they're coming off of a choking loss against the Minnesota Vikings, and Seattle, they just won their game. Arizona, same team, like they've been playing very, very well, these past couple games. And I think they're definitely going to bounce back against the Seattle Seahawks. I think this is also going to be a dogfight. This is another 50-50 game, another divisional game between these two teams. But I think Arizona, that loss against the Minnesota Vikings, they should have had that game. They should have won that game. And I think that loss is definitely going to carry over that motivation with that loss against the Minnesota Vikings is definitely going to carry over to this Seattle Seahawks game. They're going to play motivated, and especially this is a divisional game, and this is for all the marbles. They have to win this game if they ever want to gain footing, and if they ever want to have a chance, in the playoffs. And so Arizona, I think they're definitely going to win this game by maybe 2 or 3 points. I think this is going to be like a defensive battle, like a 23-21 type of game. So give me Arizona to cover the 2.5. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills versus Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo is favored by 5 points. Joe Brady, like I said, Joe Brady and this offense has been doing very well, working wonders with this Buffalo offense. Josh Allen has been playing at an MVP level. They're coming off of a win against the San Francisco 49ers. And Los Angeles Rams, they're coming off of a win against the New Orleans Saints. I also think this is going to be, this could definitely, I can see this being I wouldn't say it's a blowout, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo Bills blow out the Los Angeles Rams, because the way they've been decimating their opponents, whether it be at home or on the road, it don't matter. The Buffalo Bills, they just know how to dominate their opponents, But the Los Angeles Rams, like I said, they also been wishy-washy as well. They haven't been playing their best football lately, but I could also see this being a close game. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo Bills blow out the Los Angeles Rams. So I'd say just give me the Buffalo Bills to cover the 5. I'm going to have the Buffalo Bills winning 26-21. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be in Levi Stadium. San Francisco is favored by 4 points. San Francisco lost Christian McCaffrey, and they also lost their other running back, Jordan Mason. Brock Purdy came back, but he was so rusty from that game. Rusty in that game, because he's coming off of an injury. I think it was like an elbow injury. And the Chicago Bears, they're definitely going to go to Levi Stadium. Like I said, Chicago Bears just fired their head coach, Matt Eberflus, and Thomas Brown is going to be their interim head coach. I have this game being an upset, man. I'm going to have the Chicago Bears win this game because they lost Christian McCaffrey, and they also lost their other running back who's playing very serviceable the whole entire season when Christian McCaffrey was out, Jordan Mason. You're not going to have 2 of those guys, and that's really going to hamper Brock Purdy's momentum and how he plays this game, because he plays very well when it comes to play action. And when you don't have your 2 backs, that's very vital when it comes to play action. That's definitely going to hamper the offense. I think Thomas Brown, he's definitely going to have what's that? He's definitely going to have what's the word I'm trying to say? He's definitely going to have a type of player adjustment in order to counteract the San Francisco 49ers offense. He's going to definitely, he's going to have a game plan. He's going to have a game plan in order to face the San Francisco 49ers. And Caleb Williams, he's definitely going to play a little bit more free. We already know that these last 3 games, when he came to these stiffer competitions, especially these 3 divisional games, Caleb Williams has been playing his best, and I think that's definitely going to continue. Caleb Williams, I think he's definitely going to have like a 250, 260, plus yard game, maybe a couple touchdowns, because I don't even think Nick Bosa is going to play. They don't have. I don't think what's his name's going to play their left tackle. What's his name? Who's their left tackle? I'm already forgetting his name already, bro. Trent Williams. I'm sorry, Trent Williams. Trent Williams. He's not gonna. He probably might not play because he's dealing with pray for Trent Williams and his family too. He just lost his baby. Him and his wife just lost their baby, so keep them in prayers as well. I hope everything is good with him and his family as well. I know that's very hard, for him and his family. So keep them in prayer, as well. But this team is just, like I said, the San Francisco 49ers team is just in disarray. And I think, like I said, Thomas Brown is definitely going to have a game plan to go up against the San Francisco 49ers team. So I'll have the Chicago Bears covering the 4. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus Los Angeles Chargers. Chiefs are favored by 3.5 points. This is another pick'em game. I think this is going to be another upset game. I think the Los Angeles Chargers are going to win. I think Jim Harbaugh, he's definitely going to have a good game plan on how to pressure Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes lost his left tackle. He lost his left tackle. I think Jawan Taylor, he's not playing. I don't know if he's playing. But the Las Vegas Raiders just gave you a game plan on how to beat this Kansas City Chiefs offense. Get pressure in Patrick Mahomes' face. Let him make those quick plays. Throw him off his game. Stop the running game. We definitely saw that, how they stopped, Isaiah Pacheco. Even though they did win, they shouldn't have won that game. I think this is definitely going to catch up to them. The way they've been playing, the Kansas City Chiefs offense have been playing. Even though I think they are the favorites to win the Super Bowl, I think they're one of my favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think this is definitely going to be a hiccup. This is going to be a trap game for the Kansas City Chiefs. I wouldn't think this is really a trap game, but the Los Angeles Chargers, they're definitely going to have a game plan in order to beat this Kansas City Chiefs offense. And I think Jim Harbaugh is definitely going to have them playing hard and early and often, getting to Patrick Mahomes' face and trying to throw his game off. So give me the Los Angeles Chargers to win and to cover the 3.5. Next game, we got Monday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cincinnati's favored by 5. I'll give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. I know last week Dallas Cowboys, Cooper Rush, and the team, he's been flowing very nicely for Dak Prescott. I think he is a very serviceable quarterback. He's a very solid quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be enough to, beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Even though they are coming off of a loss last week to, who did they lose to? The Steelers. They lost to the Steelers last week, 44-38. Even though Joe Burrow has been playing well, his team hasn't been playing well. I think they're going to have some type of motivation this upcoming game. They're going to do whatever they can, to win these next 5 games. And they're going to be motivated. Cincinnati Bengals, they're definitely going to be motivated. This team's going to be motivated. I think that's definitely going to carry over to this Dallas Cowboys game. I don't think Dallas Cowboys have enough arsenal in order to combat the Cincinnati Bengals team. I think that's definitely going to play into Cincinnati's favor. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. I have them covering the 5. I think this is going to be another high-scoring game because both defenses suck. And so, you could just throw on either one of these teams. This is going to be like a high-scoring game, but I don't think Dallas offense is going to keep up with Joe Burrow in this offense, especially the way Joe Burrow has been playing. this season, as well as Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, all them guys. But yeah, give me Cincinnati Bengals to win. But that's all for the Week 14 pick'ems, guys. Stay tuned for more video updates as well, guys. I'm going to be doing more. I'm probably going to be doing a video on some going over the top coaching candidates for the 2025 season. But stay tuned for that, guys. But guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on my channel as well. And just like how we always do it here, man, I'm still on a high. You know, the fact that we got rid of Matt Eberflus, though, but it's vibe high, guys, man. The vibes are high in Chicago, man. And hopefully, man, we got to pick the right head coach, man, because this is definitely going to be important for this offseason, and especially for the franchise, man. If we pick the right head coach, man, this could definitely change the tide for our franchise for the next 5 to 10 years. But guys, that's all that I have for today, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time, maybe in a couple of days when I make that video for the Chicago Bears coaching candidates. I will do some videos on the Chicago Bulls as well, so stay tuned for that. But guys, thank y'all for coming. I'll always end it here. Claws up, bear down. All right, guys, I'm out.
That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better place. Get my people out the hood, we'll see better days. Tell a fan sorry, y'all let them wait. Shit up there like a Saturday.